This is my project on West Pageborough. West Pageborough is a rural town with many biomes and many species of animals. Some of these species of animals include the red-necked pheasant and the spotted salamander. So the problem in West Pageborough is that there are animals in West Pageborough that have a population status as increasing, threatened, and some have decreasing as well. Even though some have stable, my goal at the end is to bring all of these animals to a stable population, while accommodating for the growth in the population of the humans in West Pageborough by 50%. So the biomes found in West Pageborough include the forest biome, the sandpit biome, the wetland biome, the grassland and field biome, and the forest edge biome. As stated in the previous slide, there are many biomes in West Pageborough. Here I'll tell you where the biomes are located in the map of West Pageborough. So the most abundant biome in West Pageborough is the forest biome. The forest biome is represented by trees inside of a green hexagon. And then there are also the grassland and field biome. That is represented by a light green hexagon. And there is a sandpit biome, and that is represented by a yellow hexagon tile. The bodies of water on the map are just blue hexagon tiles, and the rivers are just thin streams of blue. Next to the bodies of water, you may see another biome. That is the wetlands biome. There are also many black lines on this map, and those are roads. If you look on the left of the map, you may see a star. That is a community, and from the community, you may see a yellow path. That is a hiking and biking path. On the bottom right-hand corner, there's a school, which I'll point out with my laser pointer. This is my plan for West Pageborough. The places circled in orange, those are the places where I want to protect the animals there. As you can see, the biomes that are normally included in these areas are the wetland biome and the forest edge biome. The forest edge biome is when the forest hexagon tile touches another biome tile, and the places circled in yellow are the places I want to build. This includes the biome of grassland. You may be wondering why I didn't build in some areas of grassland, such as the one I'm pointing to. That is because there are some species of animals living in the grassland biome, but since I'm going to build there, I will move those species to another grassland biome. So that's why I didn't build in certain areas. My prediction for the status of the animals in West Pageborough, once my plan is implemented, is that there are some animals that I've chosen to protect, and there are some animals that I've chosen to decrease in population, and lastly, there are some animals that I've chosen to stay the same in their population numbers. The animals that I've chosen to protect include the deer, the red-necked pheasant, the spotted salamander, and the barred owl. The animals that I've chosen to decrease in their population include the black bear and the black rat snake. And some of the animals that I've chosen to stay the same in their population numbers include the snapping turtle and the chickadee. So to increase the numbers of animals that have a decreasing or threatened population status, I have to either get rid of their predators or increase the number of their food sources. I've done both, Uh, so an example is that the deer eats leaves and branches. So I've chosen to plant more trees in the areas where deers live. And another example, but this time for the animals which decrease in population, is that there is a rat snake, the black rat snake, in which the black rat snake eats the spotted salamander. So I've chosen to relocate the black rat snake so that so that the spotted salamander population will increase. So the ecosystem services that are available in the ecosystem uh, of West Pageborough include the pollination of flowers, water purification, especially in the wetlands biome, aesthetically pleasing scenery, and energy from water or biomass. So the pollination of flowers occurs from insects um, transporting pollen to other flowers, and that is what allows flowers to grow and keeps the ecosystem running. Water purification happens especially in the wetlands biome. This is because the wetlands biome has biofilters, hydrophytes, and other organisms in addition to that can remove toxic substances. Some plants in the wetlands biome can filter heavy metal out from the water, such as floating plants. In case you're wondering what heavy metals are, they include transition metals, some metalloids, lanthanides, and actinides. There's also aesthetically pleasing scenery. Almost everyone thinks that nature is beautiful, and nature is composed of the animals and the plants that live in there. Also, there is energy from water or biomass. The energy from water comes from turbines in the water, and it's called hydrologic energy. So my plan's impacts on the ecosystem services. The impacts on the pollination of flowers is that there are some animals such as the deer that has that I will increase in its population, and its diet consists of mainly insects. So there may be less insects for the pollination of flowers, but we won't be seeing a drastic change in the pollination of flowers. And the impacts on waste absorption, there won't be any impacts on the waste absorption even after my plan is put into effect, because I will be protecting the areas of the wetlands where the waste absorption takes place from the water. And the impacts on the aesthetically pleasing scenery, this could be taken in two directions. I'm moving some of the animals into other areas, both in West Pageborough and out of West Pageborough. So certain areas might have less of an aesthetically pleasing scenery than other areas in West Pageborough, but it depends on how you take it. And also, lastly, the impacts on natural energy. There won't be any impacts on natural energy either, since I'm protecting the areas of the water, and that's where most of the natural energy comes from, the hydrologic energy. So the steps that the citizens of West Pageborough can take to improve their town, one of them is that they can plant trees. Trees serve as a food source for many animals such as deers, and they also serve as a place for building homes of birds. Also, they can add protection to the paths, because the paths go through territories of many dangerous animals such as the red fox and the black bear. Those could potentially create casualties, which might be, which might not take place if if they added protection to the paths. In conclusion, I want to summarize all the main points of my slides. First, I talked about my plan, and then I talked about the ecosystem services before my plan was implemented, and then I talked about the ecosystem services after my plan was implemented, and lastly, I talked about the steps that the citizens of West Pageborough can take to improve their town. First, while talking about my plan, I included that the problem was a two-part problem. So I had to address the fact that the population of West Pageborough was going to grow by 50%, and I had to address the fact that not all of the populations of the animals living in West Pageborough were at a stable rate. So I had to get them to a stable population status. And then I talked about my ecosystem services before the plan was implemented. These ecosystem services included water purification and the pollination of flowers. The ecosystem services weren't affected too much after my plan was implemented as well. The only things that were affected were the pollination of flowers, since there will be more deers who eat insects that will pollinate flowers. Lastly, I talked about the steps that citizens of West Pageborough can take to improve their town. This includes the planting of trees and the protection along the path so that the citizens of West Pageborough can hike and bike using the path safely without getting attacked by animals such as the black bear and the red fox. Thank you for this opportunity to present my thoughts. I've strived hard to maintain the balance in the ecosystem and keep the human population growth in West Pageborough balanced. I strongly believe by implementing my plan, this community will benefit a lot. Once again, thank you very much for your time and considerations.